Hello there, this is Sundeep Bhatia of Beaumonde Law Practice Solicitors, and I'm recording this video on the 1st of July 2020, which is quite an important date if you are someone connected with employment law. And that is because stage 2 of the coronavirus job retention scheme comes in to force. To briefly remind you, this was a scheme which was introduced a few months ago by the government in response to the COVID-19 threat and the belief that the economy could collapse because people were being forced to stay at home. And what happened in stage 1 was that employers who wanted to take advantage of the scheme had to furlough their employees for a minimum period of 3 weeks. Furlough in that sense meant letting them or making sure that they stayed at home and that they did not provide a chargeable service or services to the employer during that period of time. And in return, the HMRC would pay the employer an amount equivalent to 80% of that person's wages, up to a maximum of £2,500 a month, and national insurance and pension contributions on that 80%. But there are now changes which make the scheme more flexible. What I mean by that is that an employer can now call his staff in for a less than 100% of their contracted hours, and the HMRC will make a contribution towards the costs of furloughing them during the time when they're not working. So, for example, if somebody works 5 days a week, they could be required to work 2 days a week, and the employer would pay for those 2 days, and the government would then pay an amount for the remaining 3 days of the person's working week. So, and the way it works is that the employee would be paid normally for the 2 days they work in the example I've been given. And for the other 3 days, the HMRC will pay, to start with, at least during July, 80% of the employee's wages for that period that they are furloughed during the week, plus national insurance and pension contributions, at least during the month of July. In the month of August, things change slightly, because then HMRC will only pay the 80% and not the national insurance and pension contributions on top. But the employer will need to pay those national insurance and pension contributions. Then in September, it's all change once again. And in September, HMRC will only pay up to 70% of the furloughed employees' wages for the time they're not working, up to a maximum of, I think it's 2187.50. And then in the final month that the scheme is due to operate, currently in October, that will be 60%, up to a maximum of 1875 per month. But the sting in the tail is that the employer is going to have to top up the difference in September to the extent of 10% of the wages, and topping it up to £2,500 £500, and in October paying 20% and topping once again up to £2,500. And then the plan is that on October the 31st, the coronavirus job retention scheme will be consigned to the history books. So there are a few other things that you need to know about this flexible furlough period of the coronavirus job retention scheme. The first thing is, if you have not furloughed any employees prior to the 10th of June, then it's too late. You can't suddenly join the scheme and furlough employees or part furlough employees during the rest of the term of the scheme. That's because in order to be eligible, an employee must have already been furloughed for a period of 21 days, starting at the latest by the 10th of June. So if you come under that category, there's no need to watch on. However, if you have furloughed employees during that time period, then do watch on. The point to take as well is that you need to make a claim for those employees on furlough up to the 30th of June for any period they're on furlough up to the 30th of June. And there is a deadline for doing that, the 31st of July. So make sure you don't dilly-dally in making those claims for furlough up to the 30th of June. There are two exceptions. One is those coming back from family leave, which are things such as maternity leave, and there are one or two others as well, and armed forces reservists coming back to work. But otherwise, that's your lot, and those are the people who can make a claim. I hope you've enjoyed this video. My name is Sundeep Bhatia, and my firm is Beaumonde, Beaumonde Law Practice, and we're based in Pentax House in South Harrow. You can get hold of me on my website, www.beaumonde-law.co.uk. You can email me at Sundeep, SUNDEEP.Bhatia, BHATIA, at Beaumonde, BEAUMONDE-law.co.uk. Or if you want, you can telephone me on my mobile number, which is 07803 727 534. Keep safe, everyone. Until next time, goodbye.